Hi students, welcome to the next session of our sixth chapter is matter pure. It is continuation of the previous session. In the previous session we are discussing about method of different techniques and methods that are used to separate the components from a mixture based on the nature of the components which are there, which are present in the mixture. That we have discussed about sublimation process, we have discussed about evaporation process, we have discussed about paper chromatography, we have discussed about separating two immiscible liquids. If the liquids in a mixture, if the two liquids are immiscible, which are not dissolved completely, and if they are going to form two separate layers, that type of mixtures of liquids we are calling as immiscible liquids. And we have used a fractional distillation we have used a separating funnel in order to separate those two liquids, and we have collected the water. We have taken the oil and water as immiscible liquids where they will not completely dissolve and they are going to form two layers, and we have used the separating funnel technique and we have collected the water in outlet and we have separated those two immiscible liquids. Now if two liquids are miscible, okay, if two liquids are miscible, completely dissolved, if two liquids, if I take and if I mix them, if they are completely getting dissolved, and one liquid is getting dissolved in another one, and if they are not going to form the two layers, that type of liquids we are calling as miscible liquids. Okay. The miscible liquids, that is the completely dissolve in one another. Miscible liquids are liquids, that is they completely dissolve in one another. If one liquid will be dissolved in one another and they will not form layers. They will not form layers. Those type of liquids we are calling as miscible liquids. Okay. Suppose if I take a glass of water and if I squeeze the liquid lemon juice and if I try to dissolve it, lemon juice is completely dissolved in water where they are not going to form two separate layers. That type of liquids we are calling as miscible liquids. Okay. Now what is the technique? Now I want to separate. If the liquid or the mixtures are miscible, is there any process that we can follow in order to separate those two liquids? That's what we are going to learn. Here we are going to use the process called distillation. To separate the two miscible liquids. Okay. Now here again we have two categories in this distillation. That is, we can use a simple distillation and we have a fractional distillation. When we are going to use simple distillation and when we are going to use fractional distillation, that also we have to understand. If the difference between the boiling points of two liquids of the miscible liquids is greater than 25 degrees Celsius, then we will use a simple distillation. What does it mean? Okay. That is, when we are going to use simple distillation, that's what I want to explain. It's very important to understand our next concept. That is, suppose if I have a liquid, if I have a liquid A, some liquid, and I have a liquid B. I have a liquid A and liquid B. Both are miscible. Understand, both are miscible. Assume both are miscible and they have mixed, where the boiling point of A is equal to, suppose, 100 degrees Celsius. the boiling point of the liquid A is equal to 100 degrees Celsius and the boiling point of B, suppose it is 60 degrees Celsius. For example, some mixture I am taking as a, assume some liquid, the boiling point of A is 100 degrees Celsius and the boiling point of B is 60 degrees Celsius, and both are mixed and going to form a miscible where they are not going to form two different layers, these two miscible liquids. Now let's see what is the difference between these two boiling points, that is 100 degrees Celsius minus 60 degrees Celsius, that is equal to 40 degrees Celsius, okay, where it is greater than 25 degrees Celsius. If the difference between the boiling points of the liquids is greater than 25 degrees Celsius, if it is greater than 25, see 40 degrees is greater than 25 degrees Celsius, then we will use simple distillation process. Which process we will use? Then we will use simple distillation process. And if suppose, for example, when we are going to use fractional distillation process, the second one, fractional next one is fractional distillation. Here, same concept. If I take liquid X I have and I have liquid Y. I have liquid X and I have liquid Y. Okay, where the liquid X is equal to liquid X, the boiling point of the liquid X is equal to 100 degrees Celsius, and assume the boiling point of liquid Y is 85 degrees Celsius. For example, some liquids I am taking, liquid X consists of the boiling point 100 degrees Celsius and liquid Y consists of the boiling point of that boiling point is 85 degrees Celsius. Now if I see the difference, that is 100 degrees Celsius minus 85 degrees Celsius is going to give 15 degrees Celsius. That is, if the difference between the boiling points, of the boiling points of the two liquids in a miscible liquid is less than 25 degrees Celsius. If it is less than 25 degrees Celsius, then we will use a fractional distillation process. I hope you understood this. That is, if you summarize, in a miscible liquids, which consists of two liquids, if the difference between the boiling points of liquid A and liquid B is greater than 25 degrees Celsius, we will use simple distillation process. If that is less than 25 degrees Celsius, if the difference between the boiling points of the liquid A liquids to miscible liquids is less than 25 degrees, in our example that is 15, if less than 25 degrees, then we are going to use a fractional distillation process. Okay, that means whenever we are going to perform the distillation process, we have to know what are the boiling points of those respective liquids which are present in the mixture, and depending on the differences between those two boiling points of those two liquids, we will select either simple distillation process or the fractional distillation process based on our explanation. Okay, let's see, we will have a glance experiment, two experiments that we will conduct to have a more idea about this process. First I will conduct a simple distillation process. Okay. Simple distillation process. I am taking two liquids. Okay, consider two liquids. That is, one as water, to which the boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. One as water, the boiling point of 100 degrees, boiling point of the water is 100 degrees Celsius. The next we take acetone. Acetone is a chemical liquid It's a liquid. Okay, it's a solution. Acetone is a solution where it consists of the boiling point 50 degrees Celsius, 56 degrees Celsius. Sorry. Okay. We have taken, for example, conducting a simple distillation. We have considered two liquids, that is water with 100 degrees Celsius, acetone with 56 degrees Celsius. Now let's check whether the difference between these two boiling points, whether it is greater than 25 degrees Celsius or less than 25 degrees Celsius, so that we can see whether our simple distillation process is applicable or not. Okay, so boiling point of water is equal to 100 degrees Celsius minus boiling point of acetone is 56 degrees Celsius. That is 44 degrees Celsius is the difference between those boiling points, where it is greater than 25 degrees Celsius. That means as the difference between the boiling points of the water and acetone is 44 degrees Celsius, which is greater than 25 degrees Celsius, we can use this simple distillation process. Okay. Now we will see how the process is executed. To perform this distillation, to conduct this distillation, simple distillation process, there are some operators, and how the arrangement of operators, that all I am going to show here. You can refer page number 93, figure number 13 as well to have a good more information about this arrangement. So for this, first we need a distillation flask. This is a distillation flask which should be kept, it is kept on a tripod stand. Of course, I am not good at drawing, don't concern that. Okay, and where we have to keep a burner. This is a distillation flask. Tripod stand. And its burner. Now what we have to do, we have to add the mixture of, in this distillation flask, we have to add the mixture of the miscible liquid mixture of water and acetone. Okay, assume this is a mixture of water plus acetone. This is a mixture of water plus acetone we have added in the flask. Now this should be closed with 2-hole cork. This should be closed with the 2-hole cork, where in one hole we have to insert a thermometer to check what is the temperature in the flask. Here we have to insert a thermometer to check what is the temperature in this flask, and here we have to attach in this hole, you have to attach a delivery tube. Here you have to attach a delivery tube which consists of a cooling chamber that we call as condenser. Or cooling chamber. This is a delivery tube. Okay, see, you can have this figure, and we have used in figure we have clamped this to a stand, just clamped this. Okay, we have clamped this, okay, and we have a collecting. In order to collect the distillates, we have to keep a empty beaker at the outlet of the delivery tube. Okay, this is a thermometer. This is what is our experimental setup of this is what is our experimental setup of our simple distillation. Now we will see what is going to happen. These are all the arrangements of apparatus. Now let's see what is going to happen when we are going to light this burner. If you light this burner, some amount of heat is going to supply to this liquid of some amount of heat is going to supply to the mixture of water and acetone, where it might be initially it might be at the room temperature, might be at 32 degrees Celsius at the room temperature. When we are going to supply the heat energy, or when we are going to heat this distillation flask, the temperature of this liquid slowly starts increasing from 32 degrees to slowly it is reached to 35, 38, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. When the temperature reaches, when the temperature in the conical flask reaches to 56 degrees Celsius, from the mixture of water and acetone, the vapor, the particles of acetone starts get evaporating because it is reached to the 56 degrees Celsius. That is, as the temperature is reached to the boiling point of acetone, the acetone particles starts evaporating and going to form as a vapor, and they are going to be traveling through this delivery tube, which is connected with a two-hole cork, and the vapor of acetone is going to travel through this delivery tube, and when it is reached to this condenser chamber, this cooling chamber, due to the cool air and cool water and low temperature in this condensing chamber, the vapor form of acetone starts converting into liquid here, where the liquid form of acetone will be collected as distillates. This is the process. See, we have to continue when that boiling point is rising, when the temperature is rising, the total particles of acetone gets evaporated and continues to reach, and here they condense and collected as droplets of respective acetone. We have to continue this process till we are approaching towards the 100 degrees Celsius. We should not continue to have that 100 degree. Nearby 100 degree we have to reach, so that all acetone particles in the vapor form is going to be traveling through this delivery tube and collected as distillates in this beaker. After when the temperature is reaching to the nearby 100 degrees, we have to stop the process. So remaining substance will be water in this distillation flask, where the acetone will be collected as distillates in this beaker. Why we should not reach to this 100 degrees? Because if the temperature, even though if you still supply, if the temperature is reaching to the 100 degrees Celsius, again water starts get evaporating here, and along with the acetone, water also will go and it will be collected here in the beaker. That is, there is no use of performing this activity. So That's why we are going to connect a thermometer here, where we have to have a look of a close observation on the reading of the thermometer, where it is going to show the temperature of the conical flask, in the conical flask, so that only the acetone particles can be vaporized and collected as the distillates. Like this, we are going to separate the acetone and water by using the simple distillation process. Because why we are using simple distillation process is that because the difference between the boiling points of the acetone and water is greater than 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, I hope you understood this. Next we will see what is a simple distillation process, fractional distillation process is. Next concept is fractional distillation process. The process is same, and all the operators are same, except one extra material or operators that what we are going to connect to this is fractionating column. For this distillation flask, we are going to attach a fractionating column, an extra chamber here. Where it consists of some glass beads. Same here, but here, so you consider two liquids. Suppose I am taking a liquid A, just general discussion that what we are going to see here. Suppose I have a liquid A, two liquids, where I have liquid A with 100 degrees Celsius. I have a liquid A with 100 degrees Celsius. I am taking one liquid B, one more liquid B. For example, it consists of 85 degrees Celsius. Boiling point is 85 degrees Celsius. The differences between the boiling points of liquid A and liquid B is 100 degrees Celsius minus 85 degrees Celsius, that is 15 degrees Celsius, where it is less than 25 degrees Celsius. So, as it is the difference between the boiling points is less than 25 degrees Celsius, we can't use simple distillation process. Because why we cannot use simple distillation process is, if we would have used simple distillation process, and if we are going to add the mixture of liquid A and B, if you have added the mixture of liquid A and B after, and when we are supplying the heat energy by switching on this Bunsen burner, after reaching to the 85 degrees Celsius, nearby 85 degrees Celsius, along with the liquid A, B also starts get evaporating, because there is a less difference in the boiling points. B, some particles of A also starts get evaporating, where if we are going to collect as a distillate, along with the particles of A, along with the particles of B, as it is 85 degrees Celsius, few particles of A would also collected as a distillate. So to get rid of to get rid of that problem, we are going to use extra column, that is fractionating column, which consists of some glass beads that we call as fractional column, which consists of a glass beads. What is the help of this? What is the necessity of these glass beads that we are going to see? Suppose here I am taking the liquid, the mixture of liquid A and liquid B, where the boiling point of the liquid B is 85 degrees Celsius. When we switch on this Bunsen burner and I am supplying some heat energy to this flask, after it might be 32 degrees Celsius the mixture might be at 32 degrees Celsius at room temperature. When I supply the heat energy, the temperature of the water starts increasing. It reaches to 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75 and 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. When it reaches to 85, when it is reaching to the 85, the liquid B, the most of the liquid B particles starts evaporating. Most of the liquid B particles starts evaporating. Along with that, as the boiling point 85 is near to the boiling point of liquid A, few particles of liquid A particles also starts evaporating. Few particles of liquid A also gets evaporated. Okay, and as when this more particles of liquid A and few particles of liquid B in the vaporized form, when they enter into this fractionating column, due to the coolness of this fractionating column, the A droplets, the liquid A droplets will drop down back. The liquid A droplets will again drop down back to this distillation flask, where the liquid B particles, vaporized particles will be entering into this distillation flask, delivery tube, and they will go after reaching to the condenser, that is cooling chamber. They will be converted as liquid form due to the low temperature, and they will be collected as distillates, that is liquid B particles. Liquid B particles are collected as distillates here. Okay, both will evaporate as the difference between the boiling points are very near. Both liquid A particles and few liquid A particles and more B particles will be evaporated. When they reach to this fractionating column, due to the temperature, due to this presence of glass beads, the A droplets will drop down back to the flask, where the B particles will enter into this delivery tube, and they will be, after reaching to this condenser chamber, that is cooling chamber, they will be collected, they will be transmitted, they will be converted as water droplets, and they are collected as distillates in liquid B. Distillates, that is a liquid B in a beaker. Okay, this is what a small difference between simple distillation and fractional distillation. Both are same, but we have a small, based on the difference between the boiling points, and the value what we are going to obtain, we are going to opt or select the respective distillation method. Either it is simple distillation or a fractional distillation. Okay, I hope you understood this session. Very easy session. We'll have how till now we have discussed about how two liquids are able to, if mixture of two liquids, how they can be separated, and mixture of two solid substances or mixture substances, different methods that we have used. Now next class we will see how the respective gases can be separated from air. Air is a mixture of so many gases. We'll discuss about how they are getting separated and what are the pure substances and what are the types of the pure substances in next session. I hope you understood. Thank you. We'll meet in next session.